Right then, this is a walk-around video for a really clean Honda CR-V. This is 2.2 EX diesel manual, top of the range car. I think it's 63,000 miles, but I'll tell you the exact mileage a little bit later in the video. Finished in white, which looks absolutely fantastic on the top of the range cars. Helped by the fact with the black privacy glass and the black roof, it kind of breaks it up. But it looks absolutely stunning on the car. This one's also fitted with the optional high-level rear spoiler, which is very subtle but looks again just adds a dimension of a bit of presence to the car. Front of the car, lights and lenses there, clear, intact, no condensation or cracks in those. Front bumper very clean, likewise bonnet of the car, can't see any obvious stone chips. There will be some obviously, but there's nothing that jumps out. Near side, passenger side, absolutely smooth in the panels. Near side front alloy really clean, and that's the one that takes all of the bashing. There's nothing on there at all. And panel work on this side, it's superb. I don't normally do my videos here, by the way, just where I normally do them, they're doing some work, and so it's quite noisy. Near side rear alloy, again absolutely unmarked. Then come around the back of the car, and I say that's my favourite angle for these. That high level spoiler, it's only subtle, but it just completely changes the look of the car. Coming around the back, again, wonderfully clean everywhere. Hard to imagine there's a better example anywhere than this car. Offside, again, completely mirror smooth in the panel work. No dents or marks there you can see. Offside rear alloy, again, completely unmarked. And the remaining panels are simply beautiful. And then final wheel, again, just nothing on it at all. I mean, it really is in absolutely beautiful condition, this car. It's coming to the back now, and this is where CR-Vs, like most family cars, tend to let themselves down because they are normally very heavily used. And this one looks almost as new in the back. The carpeted areas, it doesn't really do justice to the video, because it's just, you can make a car clean, but you can't sort of clean a dirty car or scratched car, but this is just in wonderful condition there. It's coming in the back now, wide opening rear doors, gives you easy entrance, or access rather. Those front seats, by the way, are set for me, and I'm 6 foot tall, and there is an enormous amount of leg room back here. And again, unlike so many CR-Vs, which are really heavily used in the back, with lots of marks in the seats, this one has just got away incredibly lightly. It looks like it's hardly ever been used in the back. Coming into the front, again, all wonderfully clean again. Passenger seat in the front there, again, just been hardly used. It's finally come to the driver's door card. Again, in just lovely condition there. Footwell areas, really clean. And the driver's seat itself, for a car of this age, I mean, that is an absolutely amazing condition. So inside the car now, engine's running through this section, so the dash as always can be seen illuminated. And the dashboard again just looks absolutely as new. Sat nav, this actually doubles up as a DVD player, by the way. You can play films in it whilst it's stationary. Obviously the handbrake needs to be on for that. Sat nav working exactly as it should. Pop the car into reverse there. You get that lovely clear gridded parking camera as well. But it is in absolutely beautiful condition in here. Then come across to the main binnacle there, 63,482 miles. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all. But as I said, this is one of the very best CR-Vs in the marketplace for this age. So finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key are both here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda CR-V 2.2 EX diesel. This car is registered RJ14ZHH, I think, or ZHH actually. And mileage at the start of the road test is 63,483 miles. The reason we do the videos is basically so that if anyone is looking at any of our cars online, they actually get to see the cars advertised actually in operation. We feel it's really important to do this. Reason being that we know to our cost how frustrating it can be to go and see a car which, whilst it can look perfectly good in the description and the photographs, only to get there and find out when you drive it, it's got a fundamental issue which shows up whilst driving the car. So that's why we do it. We also do it on these very quiet country roads close to our premises. This actually forms part of the road test route we take customers on. Reason for that is obvious. It's so be representative of what you'd feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. So coming to the car itself, as you'll know from the walk-around video, it's just been kept absolutely beautifully, and it's not let down by the drive at all. If anything, it enhances it, because the car feels as tight as a drum in every single way. Push button start on the EX, starts instantly, settles to completely smooth, even idle. No warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car. Temperature gauge I'll do a little bit later in the video, because I like to try and do these videos from cold where I can. Because obviously faults can show up when the car's hot or cold, or vice versa. But the engines are simply brilliant diesel engines in every single way. It's powerful, it's smooth, it's torquey, it's very quiet and refined. Literally only probably first and second gear would you be aware that it was actually a diesel. When you get beyond that, it's so smooth and undiesel-like, aside from the sheer grunt the car gives. But a wonderful unit, and being a Honda, of course, reliability and longevity is built into them with the engineering that they put into these cars, and they've got a reputation in the trade as being the most reliable engines in its class by a long way. Helped no doubt by the fact that they are chain driven, not cam belt driven, so no big services looming, and you've not got a bit of rubber joining the top and bottom of an engine, which I always feel is a slightly odd thing to do. Engine then feeds into the clutch and gearbox. Clutch on the car is absolutely perfect, bite point exactly where it's meant to be, and it's lovely and smooth in operation. Gearbox, as I always say, beautiful positioning of the gear lever. Elbow sits on the armrest in the middle, and your hand just falls naturally onto the gear lever itself, and so short is the throw and so accurate and precise the gear change that literally you just guide the gears in. It's just a beautifully done gearbox, it really is, and that feels as it would have done when it was new. It just feels, it's just so tight. Steering on the car, very nicely weighted, makes the car feel very secure and solid on the road. It's precise, it's accurate, just very car-like, not sort of van or SUV-like in some ways. It also tracks nice and straight. There's no vibrations at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit. And as I said, the whole thing just feels incredibly tight. Chassis of the car, what I'm looking for in these road tests, in this bump here, is horrible, but it's a good test for the car, because I'm listening out for any kind of chattering or knocking noises coming from underneath the vehicle. It shouldn't be there, and there's nothing at all. It's absolutely spot on. But the chassis gives you a lovely mix of really good body control for this type of car. It flows through corners very well indeed, but also offers a really very compliant and comfortable ride. Honda know this market so well that they know exactly what their customers want. I'm going to turn around a bit earlier than normal, only because the point at which I normally turn around, there's some traffic lights, and that means I could be stuck there for some time, so I'm going to cheat a bit and turn around here. Although looking ahead, looks like they've moved them, so I probably shouldn't have done that, but there we go, it's by the by. I'm going to do the brakes in a second. I'm not going to, normally I'd give the brakes a really hard shove. I've already done that on a previous road test, so I know they're good. But we've just fitted brand new brake pads onto the rear of the car, so I don't want to go undoing all the good work by just meant to bed in brakes. Obviously, it's basically just give them a nice shove. Lovely, powerful brake pedal on the car. What I'm looking for, it's just really, because I know they're good anyway, but basically I'm looking for that kind of pulsing or vibrations that come through the brake pedal, which shows particularly front brake disc wear, and there's nothing at all. It's absolutely spot on. So coming inside the car, the sun's out, which is lovely, but it does make it a bit glary in here. I do apologise. but it's a lovely interior. They are beautifully made cars. There's no squeaks or rattles from the inside of the vehicle. It's a lovely dashboard to sit behind, and as the walk-around video says, I mean, it is in just amazing condition in here for a car this age. It really is. Dashboard, I could just be sat in a new car. It's got that feel to it. But everything's working. Sat nav, as you can see, air conditioning pumps out absolutely ice cold air, and it's quite a warm day today. Switch gears, that lovely rubbery feel to it, very precise, that Honda do brilliantly well. It sounds like a daft little thing, but actually it makes sense, because I mean, the quality of these controls, they're designed to last hundreds of thousands of miles and feel the same, whereas other manufacturers, they can sort of fall apart very easily indeed. Heated seats again, all working as they should. Dash binnacle in front, very simple and easy to read information. Temperature gauge now running at a third, which is exactly where it's meant to be on one of these cars, by the way. Steering wheel, small in diameter, feels great in hand. I'm going to wait here, there's a horse box. Normally it's very quiet indeed, but a bit more traffic around today. Yeah, it just feels really nice in hand. It just feels, you know, from a kind of sporty steering wheel, but it feels and looks like brand new. It's amazing. This is a four-wheel drive version of the CR-V. You'll notice that a complete absence of any four-wheel drive buttons or levers or anything to activate, because it basically does it all for you. Honda again wisely worked out that most people driving these cars, this type of car, would be driving as I am today in perfectly good conditions where you don't need four-wheel drive operating. The problem with permanent four-wheel drive cars, of course, is the fact that, you know, by definition they're on the whole time, and that means that they use more fuel, they put more mechanical stress through the car, and they get through their tyres more quickly. This is just genius, because we've got one, we tow a caravan. Should the front wheels start to lose grip, it instantly brings in the rear wheels to give you four-wheel drive, and it's seamless in the way it does it. And because it's not been used that often, it no doubt helps its reliability, because in nearly 3 decades of selling Hondas using this system, we've never put a spanner on it. So it's a very tough system indeed. As I said at the start of the video, the point of it is, brief as it might be, is just to show the car in operation, but to obviously let you know of anything that sort of is obvious while you drive the car, in terms of faults, and there's nothing at all. It just drives as, I hate it, it's a cliche, I know it is, but it literally feels like new to drive. It's that tight. As always though, if you've got any questions about the car, don't hesitate, do give us a call.